What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch and review for you. So today's swatch and review is actually an exciting one because I am starting a brand new series on my channel. So as you probably know, I review a lot of nail polish brands, but I tend to stick to the same ones and most of them are mainstream brands. But what actually really got me into nail polish and the love of different nail polishes is independent brands, and there are so many that I've never talked about that really just have such unique and interesting finishes and colors, and they just feel so incredibly different from mainstream brands like OPI and China Glaze and Essie. So I have been thinking about starting this series for a long time and it is finally here. I'm going to be calling it Small Brand Sunday, which I know isn't the most clever name and some of these brands aren't that small, but it was the most clever I could think of, so that's what we're going with. So basically for this series I'm going to be showcasing indie nail polish brands. Now, one of the reasons why this series has taken me a little while to start is because one thing that's really important to me is showcasing brands that I think are really high quality. So I have been testing and trying and wearing and enjoying these brands. So everything I show you is going to be really great stuff. And because of that, it's not going to be every Sunday, just because it is going to take me a little bit of time to get these videos ready and really make sure that I love and want to promote these brands. But I'm really excited for the ones that I have started trying out and the ones that I've been really enjoying lately, and I'm very excited to show them to you. So I wanted to start this series off with a very special brand to me, and one that I really haven't talked about a lot on my channel. Honestly, I might have only ever mentioned them like once or twice, but today we're going to be talking about A. England. And the reason that this brand is very special to me is because this is actually the first indie nail polish brand that I ever purchased from. Fun fact, actually, my very first Instagram post, which was from 2012, was an A. England manicure. So I have known and loved this brand for 10 years. I've been following them for so long and I really love their colors. And now I'm going to show you a whole bunch of them. So if you haven't heard of A. England before, they are an independent nail polish brand that is based out of Great Britain. They are 12 free, meaning they are free of 12 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. They are vegan, meaning they do not use any animal-derived ingredients, and they're cruelty-free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. Their website only ships to the UK, but they have a ton of international stockists, so I'll talk about that a little bit more at the end of the video. Today, I actually have a few different collections to show you, and I'm not going to show you them by collection. I'm actually going to be reviewing them in rainbow order, just so you can see the differences between similar colors. So it's a doozy. We've got 17 polishes to go over today, so let me swatch them, then I'll talk a little bit more about my thoughts on the brand and the formula, then we'll talk about pricing and availability and all that good stuff. So roll the swatch footage. So as with all of my swatch and review videos, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today I'm using the Orly Bonder base coat. So we'll go in a sort of rainbow order here. Like I said, this first shade is called Charity and it's a really beautiful cranberry pinky red base color, and then we also have a holographic shimmer running throughout. Now this one, it's a little confusing with some of these because I thought that they were all linear hollow, but some of them don't give the lines of rainbow. It's more like a scattered hollow running throughout, and that's how I see it with this one, but it is unreal gorgeous. The formula was absolutely incredible. It was pretty much opaque in the first coat. I got a deeper color in the second coat, so I would recommend doing 2 coats, but oh my gosh, it was so smooth and workable and beginner friendly. Just a really easy formula to work with. Next up we have the shade Lord Leighton. Now this one actually looks pretty similar in the bottle to Charity. It's another pinky red base color, and again we have what's kind of confusing, not totally sure if it's linear or scattered, but there is a holographic shimmer running throughout, and there's also this sort of duochromy gold shimmer running throughout, and I noticed that with Charity as well. It's very subtle, but when the light hits it, it kind of has this lit from within glow, but this one is a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, and it's just another really gorgeous color with an amazing formula. Can't get enough of this formula. Moving on, we have the shade Flaming June. Now this is what I'm wearing in the intro and outro to this video, and this is also what I wore for a little while. If you noticed, I started doing a little short series of what I wore on my nails this week, and this was one of the shades, and so many of you loved this, and I do too. It's this really beautiful beautiful bright orange color. There's this golden shimmer in there, and then when the light hits it, again, it kind of has this lit from within. It literally looks like flaming fire on your nails. And we also have that holographic pigment in there. And you can see with a lot of these, as they dry, they become more holographic, even with top coat over them. So you really want to wait until it dries to get that full rainbowy effect. Again, amazing formula. Next up, we have the shade Golden Dome, and this one is a really beautiful lime green base color. Again, really packed in with that holographic shimmer that I can't really tell if it's linear or if it's scattered. Honestly, it could be a little bit of both. It's just so saturated in there and there's just so much sparkle going on that it's hard to tell. But honestly, it looks pretty gorgeous to me. So this one was probably the sheerest out of all. It was just there in 2 coats, but it still gave me really nice coverage. Next up, we have the shade Hope, and when I tell you, I gasped when I saw this color on my nails. It's this really beautiful, deep, foresty green base color, but it's so rich and saturated. And then we have this golden green shimmer in there that makes it look, again, I'm going to keep saying lit from within, but that is just one of the things that I love about this brand in general, is it kind of makes every polish look like it's glowing, which I absolutely adore. But when the light hits it and you see that rich, vibrant lime green within that deeper green, it just looks unreal gorgeous. And again, almost all of these polishes covered up my visible nail line in the first coat. Some of them I would consider to be true one coaters. This one was almost there, but I did need that second coat for full coverage. And again, there is that holographic sparkle running throughout, so you can see a lot of that rainbow gorgeousness on your nails as well. Next up, we have Punk, and this one is a really beautiful seafoam green kind of color, and I was not expecting this one to be a full one coater on me. You can see this formula is unreal. I know I keep saying that as well, but this one, full coverage in that first coat. Again, I do have short nails, so it might not be a one coater for everybody, but I would totally wear this in one coat. And you can see this one has that true linear hollow. So if you weren't sure what I was talking about, this is it, where you see those true lines of rainbow on your nail when the polish is dry. Absolutely stunning. Next up, we have the shade St. George, and this one is a beautiful, deep teal color that has that holographic shimmer running throughout. And this one is another true one coater. You can see that first coat gave me all of the coverage that I need. If I wore this one as a full manicure, I would definitely wear it in one coat. Keep in mind, I do have short nails, but it was just so opaque and easy to work with. And let me tell you, this shade brings me back so much, because this specific color, St. George, is what made me notice A. England in the first place. I saw a swatch of it online like 10 years ago, and I was like, this is one of the most stunning polishes I've ever seen. It does have a holographic sparkle. For some reason, my camera wasn't picking it up very well, but it is very rainbowy and gorgeous. Moving on, we have the shade Peacock Blue Glaze, and this one, as you could probably guess from the name, is a really vibrant blue shade. Again, a one coat fully covering my nail line, and I would totally wear this as a one coater, but I am showing you two, and I feel like I'm not expressing enough how incredible this formula is. It is so smooth and easy to work with. The wide flat brush just makes it so easy to apply that I don't really have to do any cleanup around my cuticles, and it's just very self-leveling and smooth, so it's a really beginner-friendly brand. This one also has that linear hollow running throughout, so you can see those lines of rainbow in there. Moving on, we have the shade Faith, and this one is another super bright blue hollow shade, and this one I thought was very similar to Peacock Blue Glaze, but I would say the colors are a little bit different. I'm going to do a comparison at the end of the video so you'll see that, but this one I would say is more of like that chlorinated pool kind of blue, or like tropical ocean blue. It's a little bit brighter and a little bit more saturated, but again, we see that beautiful rainbow sparkle in there, which it was being a little shy on camera, but it looks super gorgeous in real life. And of course, it has that amazing formula. Moving on, we have the shade Tristam, and this one is a really beautiful shade. This is another one that I have seen online so much and have always wanted to have, and I always thought that it was like a navy blue color, but on me it leans a little bit more purple purple. So it's this very, very blue toned purpley kind of shade. And that also might be dependent on your skin's undertone. So it might just be leaning a little bit more purple on me, but it's another one that was full coverage in the first coat, that beautiful rainbow sparkle running throughout. And it's just such an incredible formula. I can't get enough of this formula. Next up, we have the shade Love Revealed. And this one is just everything that I dream of in a polish. It is a cool toned purple. It's got this nice saturation to it, so you can really see that vibrant color coming through, and it also has a linear hollow sparkle. Now, I will say the first coat was very sheer on this one, and I got a little bit nervous because I was thinking, this is my favorite nail polish color. I don't want to be disappointed by this formula, but somehow it ended up giving me perfect coverage in 2 coats, and it really didn't feel like it was barely there in the second coat. It just fully covered everything up in the second coat, so I was very relieved about that. And then once it dried, we had the most intense rainbow holographic linear sparkle in there, so this is just another perfect color. Next up, we have the shade The Arab Hall, and let me tell you, all of these purples are winning me over so much. This is a super light lavender kind of shade, and again, we have this nice cool tone to it, and I love cool toned purple nail polish. And again, it was pretty sheer in the first coat. I'm not sure if it's something about purple pigment that causes that, but it ended up giving me really nice coverage in the second coat. I didn't need to worry about a third or it being just barely opaque, and even before it dried, I was able to see so much of that holographic rainbow, but once it dried, it was so intense on the nail. Because it's this almost silvery color, I feel like that's what helps the hollow show through so well. So this one, super gorgeous, absolutely perfect. Next up, we have this warmer toned purple. Now, this one is a name that I don't know how to pronounce. I always Google it when I don't know how to pronounce it, but sometimes Google does steer me wrong, but Google has informed me that the pronunciation is Lachrymae, so I could be wrong about that, but this one is a really beautiful shade. This one leans a little bit warmer, and then we also have this really intense, almost greenish gold shimmer in there, as well as the holographic pigment. So it's this very nice contrast going on, really smooth formula, really beautiful color, and very unique to my collection. And then we have an even warmer purple shade. This one is called Virginia Woolf, and it almost leans into this pinky territory. It's this super intense dark shade, but it's still vibrant enough that you can see that purpley pinky color coming through. And again, we have that gorgeous holographic sparkle in there, and you can see it a lot better as it dries. The formula on this one was just perfect. I love that it feels like a thicker formula, but it's not thick in like a gluey sense. It just feels like a full manicure even when you have one coat on, but it's so smooth and workable on the nails. Moving on, we have this shade Mashrabiya, and this one is another incredibly unique color to my collection. It's this sort of warmish toned purple base, and then I don't think there's any hollow sparkle in here, but there is this really intense green shimmer running throughout. So it looks super dark on the nail. It's almost like this eggplant purple color, and then when the light hits it, you get this intense duochromy green gold shimmer. I don't think that my camera did this one justice. You can see a little bit of that shimmer in there, but in person, it is just so stunning. It's a really unique color combination, something I definitely wouldn't expect, but it works so well together, and it's just really beautiful. And then we have this shade Goth, which honestly, it looks on the nail like it's their black linear hollow, and the formula on this is absolutely incredible. I know I keep saying that again, but I just can't get enough of how opaque these shades are and how smooth and workable they are. But to my eye, and maybe I'm a little bit crazy, but I see a little touch of purple in here. So let me know, do you think this is a black shade, or do you think this is a very, very dark purple? Because I'm seeing a little bit of purple, and I am not mad about it. I absolutely love purple nail polish, but it's deep enough that it looks almost black on the nail, and then you get that gorgeous hollow sparkle. And then the final shade in the collection is another name that I don't know how to pronounce, and I don't know if Google is steering me wrong, so I am just going to call this one Clytie, but I could be wrong about that. Feel free to correct me in the comments. And this one is a really interesting, almost pinky purpley toned brown base, and then again we have that golden green shimmer in there, which I'm starting to think is a little bit of a trademark signature vibe from England, because I see it a lot in the polishes that I've tried, and I think it really adds such a unique touch to their polishes. polishes because you can see that hollow sparkle, but you also see that gorgeous lit from within look. So another incredible color, another incredible formula. So here are all of the shades that I have tried together, and like I said, this is multiple collections, including some of their legacy shades, which have been around since before I even got into nail polish. So like I said, some of these names are familiar to me from way back in 2012, but yeah, they're all super gorgeous. The formula is even better than I remembered, and I'm so glad that this is the first brand that I got into because I think it just left a really great impression on me, and the colors are so vibrant and beautiful. They don't seem like they're that unusual, but once you wear them, even as a person like me with thousands of bottles of nail polish, I feel like so many of these shades are just so unique to my collection, and I cannot get over the formula. It's one of the easiest formulas that I think I've ever tried. But you can also see a little bit of the comparisons, especially between those pinky reds and those really vibrant blues and the purples, so you can just see the difference. I think they're all different enough to warrant owning all of them, but if you just want one of each kind of color, then here's a good comparison for you. So now let's get into a little bit more about pricing, availability, and my thoughts on A. England in general. So yeah, that is just a small sample of what A. England has to offer. They really just won my heart over with their colors. They were also one of the first brands that I ever saw to do holographic polishes, and that was very special, and I still think that they really excel at making them. And especially now that I'm a little bit more knowledgeable about nail polish, I can really appreciate how quality their formula is. It's really workable, very beginner friendly, obviously, because it's one of the things that got me into nail polish. And so many of them are just incredibly opaque, and a lot of these I would honestly wear as one coaters. It's been a really long time since I've said this word, but I think that this formula is very buttery, and I'm very excited that I finally have found an incredible buttery hollow formula because it's been a while since I've seen one of those. And the colors are just so vibrant and rich. I feel like there's something a little bit elevated about them because there's just so much going on in there. Even though they're very simple finishes, they just feel a little bit more than just shimmers or just hollow. So these polishes come in 11 milliliter bottles, and they do have a wide flat brush with a rounded tip, which makes application super easy. Now, like I said, on their website, they only ship within the UK, and their polishes retail between 6 and 11 pounds, but they do have a bunch of international stockists, so I'm gonna link that down below. I know the majority of my audience is in the US, and I saw as of right now, they do have 3 different stockists. So What's Up Nails, Color for Nails, and Beautometry are all US based stockists that sell A. England, and they range between $10 and $13 USD each for the bottles there. So I'm gonna link those retailers down in the description as well. And I'm also going to link the stockist page from A. England, so if you're in another country and you want to grab them, you can also check that out. But yeah, I'm so excited that I'm finally getting this series started. I hope you guys are excited for it too. I'm really excited I finally get a chance to show you guys all of these beautiful polishes from this brand, and I would love to know your thoughts on A. England if you've tried them before or if you're planning to. Leave it all in the comments. Also, I do already have a pretty big list of brands that I either want to try or brands that I'm currently in the process of testing out, but if there is an indie brand that you would like to see for this series, you can also let me know in the comments and I will definitely check them out. If you like the idea of this series, or if you just enjoy my content in general, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. And of course, a huge shout out to my Cosmic Admirals on Patreon, Amanda M, Rocket Man's Daughter, Paula, Kenneth, and Rosie. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's fun fact question comes from Patreon supporter Leanne Sperry, and Leanne wants to know, what are you looking forward to the most now that you're living in Las Vegas? So if you missed it, I think I've mentioned this in like every single video since I've moved, but I did move to Las Vegas from New Jersey, and I have a whole vlog channel where I've been kind of sharing my experience every week of the process of moving and getting settled in here. And I've probably said this a ton, but the thing that I'm the most excited for now that I'm living in Vegas is having more outdoor time and also living in a place where it's a little bit warmer. I think that is a thing that I have acclimated to so intensely quickly. And I know a lot of people say it's because of the dry heat. It's been kind of rainy here, I'm not gonna lie, but I have acclimated so quickly to the temperatures being in the hundreds that the other day when it was 80 degrees, I was wearing a sweatshirt and sweatpants, which I never thought that I would be that person, but here we are. So I was kind of laughing about it the other day because I was thinking when it gets cold, which to me, as a person from New Jersey, the cold of Las Vegas is not the same as the cold of New Jersey. But now that I'm already so used to this warmer weather, I have a feeling that I'm going to be absolutely freezing in the winter anyway. So it's kind of funny how that works out. But at least I won't have to be shoveling feet of snow off of my car. So that's something that I'm really excited for. And then also just being able to have easy outdoor access in general. I think that's something that I didn't realize how important that was to me until all the 2020 stuff happened. And then realizing just how long it took me to get from my apartment to outside in my old apartment took so long. It was actually crazy. So now having a balcony and just being able to go outside whenever I want is so incredibly nice. And I feel like it's helped my mood so much. And of course, it's also helped me have a much better skincare routine because now that I'm going outside regularly, I'm much better about applying sunscreen very regularly. So I think that's going to be very good for my skin. So yeah, those are the main things that I'm excited about. I'm not like a gambler or a partier or drinker at all. So not like immensely excited about this trip, but it is also fun to go there and just kind of people watch. So that's something that we've been enjoying doing. But yeah, that's it. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.